video that I have been meaning to make for a really long time. I'm finally going to share with everyone how I prepare traditional Chinese tea. This is called gong cha. This is a huge part of my culture and my family's culture. We do a more casual style in my household. So I'm just gonna share with you guys like how we do our little more casual style. It's perfect for whenever we have guests. Even if I have guests over who aren't Chinese, I will always prepare tea for them. It's just a really fun way to, just like gather people around the table and just like have conversation. And I think that's the point of this entire practice. And this video is in collaboration with Rosetta Stone. If you're interested in Chinese culture, nothing gets you more immersed than understanding and learning the language. Of course, Chinese is on there, but it's not just for Chinese. There's like 24 languages, which is a lot. So you can choose your goal, you can choose your proficiency, whether you're a beginner or you're advanced or intermediate, and you can choose your goals. And so it is really customized towards what you want out of your learning experience. So my favorite thing about their app is actually their 10-minute courses, and it goes by super fast and it's really interactive, super fun to use and easy to learn. And listen, I've tried so many methods to try to learn languages. I've gone to college courses, I've tried self-studying, I've even hired like online tutors through Zoom, and I have always really struggled with it. And I think actually Rosetta Stone has been like the nicest and most efficient way for me to learn languages. So with my link down below in the description box, you can check out all of Rosetta Stone's monthly subscription packages, or you can get what I have, and they have an unlimited lifetime Rosetta Stone, and that's only for $179. And again, you can learn an unlimited amount of languages once you have the app for life. So thank you so much to Rosetta Stone for sponsoring this video, and let's brew some tea. First off, let me just give you guys a brief introduction to what is on the table. It's the most basic stuff for any tea set. I have a really big set in the main house, but this is actually just like my travel set. So when I'm traveling, this is what I'm bringing with me. So the most basic thing is kind of this we call this a chage. It's just either a wooden or a bamboo tray, and it has slots on the top for drainage and a removable tray on the bottom. So if you have any spillage of water or tea, you can just remove this and dump it out. Again, this is kind of the most basic style. In China, they have like really intense ones where it's like actually either like connected to the table, or sometimes you can get one that has like a pipe or like a little hose, and then it'll like drain off into like the corner or like underneath the table where you can't see it, and it'll just like drain it out for you. That's the more intense stuff, very expensive. Obviously, I am not a dim sum restaurant, so I don't have that. And so then on here we have our teacups. So I have a set of 4, and these teacups are the 4 flowers. And so in Chinese literature, in art and painting, they are referred to as the 4 gentlemen. And so they are 4 flowers that represent the different 4 seasons. And so there's the plum blossom, there's the chrysanthemum, bamboo, and an orchid. I also brought out some of our other tea sets just so I can show you guys like, different styles. So the set that I showed you guys featured the 4 gentlemen, and this is another set that I have that also has the same motif. And as you can see, like they come in different sizes. So this one is like a lot bigger than the one that I have. But again, this is just like another version of the 4 gentlemen motif, and it's pretty commonly seen with a 4-cup tea set. And this one is also hand painted by an artisan. This one is another set that we've never used before, and this one does not feature the 4 flowers. This one is a different technique used to make porcelain. So this technique is called the rice grain technique, and you can hold it up against the light and you can see through the porcelain a little bit as if it's like little rice grains. And then after that, we have some more basic things. So just a little glass pot, and also a strainer. And another one of my most favorite things about a tea set is actually the clay pot. Out of everything in this entire set, most often the most expensive thing in a tea set will be the clay pot, and that's because if you get a really nice one, it's handmade by an artisan, and it takes a lot of skill. So definitely pots can come in a bunch of different colors and sizes, and these are just like 3 of my favorites. This is our daily use pot. This one is smaller, so it's for like 2 people's use. And it's hand carved and hand painted with a floral motif. And then this one in the center is actually my favorite pot in our entire collection. It's again another hand thrown and hand painted pot, but this one has such a stunning golden fish design. And then over here are just, you know, some basic tools. So you have a little scoop so that you can scoop out your tea leaves and into your pots. And this is a pair of tongs. So this is where my version of Gong Fu Cha is a little bit more simplified. So I guess like the more like traditional way to do this is you would have like some sort of like a bowl of hot water, and you would take all of your cups and you would like rinse it and dip it around. We don't do that because like we just clean our cups beforehand, and that style is kind of more like, I think it's like the performance of it. So, you know, since we're just doing this at home and you know, like I'm only doing this for my dad, so we actually skip that step, so I'm not going to do that for you guys. And then our last tool is a tea pick, which is a really great way to segue into our teas. This is called pole. This is a fermented red tea, and it comes in a block like this. So this is called a cha bang, which is literally a tea cake. And originally it was packaged like this because of trade. So it's like a really tight block of tea, and you would use a tea pick to, you know, like loosen it up. Not all pole comes like this. There's also like a loose leaf version, and it's kind of like wine, where it's like the older it is, the more expensive and the better it tastes. So definitely, you know, some people collect these, and this is definitely like a new level of fine tea. So actually the tea that I'm going to prepare, you know, for myself, because I'm the one drinking it, is my favorite tea, and this one is called Longjiang, which translates kind of roughly to dragonwell tea. The tea leaves are hand-picked, and then they're rolled flat and roasted and dried. So the entire process itself is like very time-consuming, and so that is another reason for why it's a fine tea. But it definitely has such a stronger, earthier flavor than just like, you know, other teas that you can just buy at the grocery store. I'm adding my leaves into my clay pot, and I honestly wish I could tell you guys like the ratio of like tea leaves to add, but it really depends on, you know, the type of tea that you're using, and also the size of your pot. So I don't really have like an exact measurement or anything. You know, after doing this for so many years, I can kind of tell just by looking at it whether or not it's enough tea leaves. So really I think it just comes with like the experience of trying and seeing if it's too strong or too weak. So the reason why we have 2 pots is because after the tea steeps for anywhere from a couple of seconds to a couple of minutes, we're going to strain the leaves and transfer to a second pot, and from here this is like our serving pot. So for this green tea in particular, the steeping time is about like 30 seconds. You can tell how the flavor changes with each round of tea that you brew. So each pour is considered a round. So the first and second round are obviously going to be very fragrant. By the third round, it's going to diminish a little bit, and by the fourth round, you'd want to throw out the tea leaves. And this is just generally speaking for green teas. With other teas like red teas, those ones can definitely go on for a lot longer. I honestly don't even like count the rounds that those go on for because it has so much flavor. So I think it's kind of like up to, you know, personal preference for how many rounds you use that tea for. So that is it for this video. I am just really happy to be able to share like this part of my life with people. I hope that, you know, people can also like appreciate this part of Chinese culture. And it's just honestly like such an amazing and wonderful thing to do for people and also for yourself. I definitely think it is like such an act of love. And yeah, thank you so much for just watching me, you know, like I guess like kind of geek out about, you know, this part of my life and this part of my culture. And as always, a super special thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much to CKL, Jay, Chelsea, Selena, Gabrielle,
Kina Cardone, Tiffany Kennedy, Sweet Moon Bubble, Georgia, Alyssa, Ruby, the person who goes by just a question mark, Lena's Rain, Aaron, Rebecca, Gregorio, Tina, Kylan, Fair, Brennan, Carla, Kirsten, Mirari, and Emma. I'm honestly so honored to be creating extra content and even teaching a course on Patreon, so you guys can go ahead and find me there. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys again next week.